All right, we're live. Here we go. And look at this. We already have. All right, Jennifer G, let's do this. We got some questions about getting that depreciation. I remember responding to this comment here. 3115 to catch up. I didn't claim, right? Bit confusing. Let's do it. Each year, depreciation, however, TurboTax is showing missed depreciation, which isn't 2 full years, and it should be because it was rented. Well, if it was rented out February 1st, that's not a full year, right? We're missing some stuff, and all set to be as a rental as of January. Oh, okay, so that is a full year, right? January 1st. Okay, never mind. So not sure how it's coming up with the number. Also, it looks like the year I'd list at the top of the form would be 2023, since that's the year I'm adjusting for this missed depreciation. Hope you can help. Hello, I bought 3 cameras last year, started my new podcast with the full intent to monetize it. I bought a lot more than that, actually. Anyways, I did release 2 episodes towards the end of the year. I have contracted a gig to live stream my local ESPN. Okay. I have not started an LLC as of yet. Plan to any chance I can itemize some of my expenses that I purchased last year. Yeah, we'll do like a Schedule C, Liebert. Okay, so you would do that as like a self-employment income expenses is how that would work, Lee. So make sure you do that. Jennifer, I'm going to go over this. You know, I've never actually done the 3115 actually ever, believe it or not, let alone through TurboTax. So I'll kind of go through this, but it'll be a little bit of a struggle, okay? So hopefully I won't miss out too bad on this thing. Let's do it, okay? I'll log into my TurboTax here and get this thing ready. So let's see here. Deductions. Let's see how we can get to the 3115. Let's see. I bet I can get a shortcut there. TurboTax. Let's see. I bet they'll let me know how to do this a lot faster. Common questions. How to fill out. Come on. File form. See, how do we get to this thing? We need a file. So what version? Okay. Desktop version. Contain, but you will have to prepare it in forms mode. Okay, well, I don't have the desktop version. Might want to consult. I don't have the desktop version. Let's see, deductions. Let's go through my like self-employment. Let's see if I can figure it out. Oh, this is a rental. Never mind. Let's go through the rental. Property. Let's go to the rental. Rental. Okay, let's go to income here. Let's do it this way. Okay, rental. Let's see if I can go this way through it. Here we go. Rental property, revisit. Okay. Do you have any income? I'll say yes. Continue. And all right, let's just, come on, get through this stuff. Doesn't matter. Okay, continue. Rental. Just say, no, don't save that. I'll say I own it. It's a single family. Doesn't really matter. First year rented. Well, none of these work, right? If none, just select continue. Continue. Rented every single day. Yes. Was it rented? Yes. Continue. If both of these apply, hit yes. You own at least. Yes, there we go. Okay, say we're active. Did you make any of the payments? No, we're going to say no. We don't have to do a 1099. Do any of these uncommon situations? We're going to say no. Not only the rental properties. Okay, deal. Okay, there we go. There we go. Continue. Let's go. Keep going, of course. Let's just do it cash. We'll put like 50,000 bucks we got. Let's say 24. 2,000 bucks a month. Continue. Okay, did you have no? That's the only income I got. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to struggle through this. Jennifer, give me a second. Okay. Okay. We know, right? Rental property. There it is. Okay. Let's just, for basics, we're just going to click a couple. Hit continue. Okay. Let's go. Continue. All right. Real estate. Let's do it. Here it is. The rental property. Let's see how we do this. Right. We have this guy. We're just going to do the one. The real estate. Residential. and describe this as the rental. We'll say, how much should we pay? Let's say we paid 500K for it. Cost of land, 150. When we purchased it, you said in 01 of 2021. Okay, continue. Since you required it, yes. I traded, oh no, I purchased this asset. This item was sold, no. None of the above, deal. There you go, right? This is all correct. Jennifer, let me know if anything here is not making sense. This all looks good, right? Wait, what happened? Please enter a valid date into the date you first began using it for business. 1/1/2021, right? There we go. But it didn't rent till the February. Makes sense, okay. Confirm your prior depreciation. So 0, right? We haven't taken any depreciation as of yet, right? You know what? I wish I could do. Jennifer, if you could give me tips on the 8606 with TurboTax, okay. 860. Okay. Steve, I will get to you, okay? I will, I promise. I'm going to get through Jennifer's question here first, though. Okay, continue. So it should be like this, right? The calculation, pretty straightforward. 500 minus 150 divided by 27.5, right? Estimated expense. Okay, pretty close. Continue. Okay. Stop to, let's see here. Continue, done, right? I'm not going to add another asset. Add income, asset. Zero. Jennifer, how? I don't think you were supposed to zero that out on the last screen. The last screen, let's go back then. I'm confused on what do you mean zero that out on the last screen? What did I zero out there? It's saying total expense is 0, but it's not. There's this asset here, right? This is, it's giving me that deduction here. Confused on why you said 0. What do you mean? That's saying how much you should have taken but didn't. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, maybe I went too fast there. You're right. Let's take a look. Continue. Right, continue. Continue. 0, right? Select continue. Let's see here. Based on your entries you've made, we've calculated the depreciation amount you should have taken since you began your asset. This amount is correct as long as your business is used. Select the amount. The amount of depreciation taken not included. Select continue to accept these amounts. Otherwise, the correct amounts. Otherwise, the correct amounts and select. Otherwise, select the correct amounts. Where can I find this? Amount of depreciation taken in prior years. But that's where it gave me a weird figure. It didn't do 2 full years, so I don't know. This is where it's giving you the weird figure, but this is not on the 3115. This is just telling us, like, for essentially tracking depreciation, what to put in here. You didn't actually, this is not telling us to put, I mean, I'll go through the whole steps here to show. Let's see. I'll try and find out, okay? But my understanding here is because I do taxes on on a professional software, not TurboTax, right? But nonetheless, we have the same prompts on there, and it'll ask for what was previously recorded. Nothing was previously recorded in your case, so we would actually put 0 here. We wouldn't put an amount of depreciation, right? Yeah. It's not asking what should have been calculated here. It's what was actually taken. Amount of depreciation taken in prior years. We didn't take anything, right? So that's what I would do. It looks like we need to, We need a desktop version to do something like this. It didn't come up. How did you search for that? Hit continue. Let me see. I'll try and search for it. Continue. Okay, done. Let's get through this. Done. Yes, for that. He would say something like that, right? Okay, continue. Actions related. Let's see if there's 35. Okay, no. No, this is not it. Gain loss, no. I have no. This is doesn't matter. EIN, we don't have an EIN. Almost you want to private morning. No, so this is going to ask me for, right, okay, deal. Continue. Went to the forms and just searched for it, yeah. So here, do you, no. So let's see, maybe I can search for this. Oops. Got it. Let's see if I can go 3115. That doesn't seem to pull. Very confusing. Mine looks different than yours. I went up to forms and searched for it. See, that's where let's see here. Maybe I can just hit forms. Do you have a desktop version of QuickBooks? Is that what it is potentially? Because it looks like quick employer forms. How do I handle? No, not this. Because that's what this is saying. Desktop version will have that, the forms version. Huh. You will need to manually include adjustment on your return. A reminder that a post in a form such as do not constitute tax advice. I love it. From a disk you purchase, yeah. So you have, so the disk you purchase, so you do have the desktop version, which is why it looks different. It looks like we can't do this online, so I wouldn't be able to show this. Man, I apologize. Let's just look at what the 3115 would look like, right? What you should actually do here. I saw an actually good YouTube video on this when I went through it. You can move on to help the others. Sorry, you don't want to take all your time. Okay, deal. I appreciate that. But, you know, I actually found like a good YouTube video when you were going through this. You asked me about this. I actually went and searched this. And I found a good YouTube video that goes through this. Here's the thing, Jennifer. You always want to go through, and this is what I was going to show you at the end, right? If I were to go click File on this thing, this is what I always do as a professional, right? We go to the end of, we go to the forms, right, themselves. So like I would go to the end of this TurboTax. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to say this. Let's see here. See all payment options. Let's say we'll pay by check. Continue. Continue. Pay by check. Continue. Continue. And you just want to get to like to the end of this thing, right? Where it'll say, well, I'm going to file by mail so I can see the actual. This is so annoying that it does this, but I want to see the actual tax return itself. Continue printing without fixing. So I would take a look at this thing. All right, download, here we go. And so finally it's going to tell me what is getting filed with the IRS. And this is what I would look at, okay? So you get to see, hey, what is on this tax return, right? And we would go, right, Schedule E. That's Schedule C. Let's go Schedule E, D, E, right? And here's our rental. You'll take a look at this. I think this is gold for you too, regardless, Jennifer, right? You'll see all your rental income, all the various expenses we've claimed, and make sure those are accurate, right? And if they're not accurate, go back into TurboTax and adjust those. Nonetheless, depreciation, there it is. They should be giving us, of course, they're going to make it tough for me to find this. Can't find the depreciation schedule. But the 3115 would be here as well, right? Yeah, that's all complete. Okay, so yeah, the 3115 would be here as well, though, and you would double check the 3115 here. And then you would just match the number off the 3115, the additional expense. And as I saw here, right, again, this is not something I'm super familiar with, but looks like you would have to make this adjustment on your return, right? And I would assume you would do this adjustment as a Schedule E, other expense, right? Where would I find my Schedule E? Come on, HSA. Down here, right? I would do like other. I would list an other expense, and I would list that section right there as that additional depreciation down there. But you would fill out that. And again, I saw a good, man, it was a great video I saw on how to, let's look at this thing here. 3115, right? There was some lady that was explaining this thing rather straightforward on it. Yes, this is it. This is the video. This is what I would take a look at. It doesn't carry it over. So yeah, if it doesn't carry it over, Jennifer, you would have to add it as an adjustment here, right? Like this is explaining on that Schedule E, like I said, right? Like on here. And you would just list the other expense, section 40, whatever it is, and then list it right there. I was trying to look for examples. I found one on site, not video, and it was somewhat helpful. So this one right here, I think, is a great video, actually, that I saw, right? Here's this video, right? This lady kind of goes through it, and actually, it's a really good video. Depreciation, right? She kind of goes through this, and I'm assuming she's going to give you that other, right? Okay, she kind of goes through how it's supposed to work, right? And then how to fill out that form, making sure this form is filled out properly as well. So there's that, and then let's see if she goes to the end where she puts it on Schedule E. Yeah, she's going to tell you all the IRC codes. I went through this. This one looks good. Exactly how to fill. There you go. It's set, just like I said, line 19, other expense. She's going to have you fill out that line 19 to do that properly. There it is. Catch-up depreciation in form. Boom. Okay, I will look into that one. There you go. Man. Well, I guess I pointed you in the right direction, and I at least got to the bottom of this thing. Too bad I couldn't do it on the online version. I'm sorry, but hey, at least we got there. Deal. Glad I was able to help. Take a look at this video, how to catch up missed depreciation. This lady kind of goes through it really nicely here. Okay? Deal. There's that. Let's see, what else we got? Liebert, hey, I bought cameras. Yeah, Liebert, let's do it. You still here? Hopefully. If so, let's do it, okay? You're going to have to go into income here, right? Self-employment income is what you'll need, okay? If you can't find that in yours, go to this little search box down there. Self-employment, there it is, right? And you would just like click that, boom, start this thing. Your contact, yeah, so just start like a new one essentially, add it into the line of work, right? And then let's see where you still look for that one, okay, deal. Let's see, where's Lee? Still in here? If you're still in here, Lee, let me know. I'll go through this here. Nonetheless, you kind of got to go through this here, and you would put your expenses in this section here, this self-employment income expense. If you want me to walk you through it, I can. Leave me a comment here. Just let me know you're still here, and I will go through this. If not, I'll move on. But nonetheless, this is where you would put that expense for your, what would you say, your equipment for your stream, essentially. Even if you didn't make money, you've been zero money, put it in your expenses, and you'll get at least a write-off here. Now, this is something you don't want to do year after year, right? The IRS wants to eventually see money coming in. If it's a business, we don't start a business to lose money, right? So the IRS essentially has like this like unwritten rule, this 3-year rule of the hobby losses that we want to be careful of. But if you're going to be making money on this, Liebert, you want to write off the expenses you got, okay? The other like conservative way to do this is to capitalize the expenses and write them off over, I believe it's a 15-year period for startup costs. I'm sure TurboTax will kind of walk you through this stuff, but nonetheless, there you go. Okay? Yeah, if you're still here, let me know. All right, Steve G. Hi, I'm 53. I have an IRA brokerage that did real well last year, got hit with capital gains. I've held my broker open a new late simple IRA, transfer some funds into it to help offset the capital gains. Tips on the 861. I'm a little confused by the question, Steve G. Let's do it, though. You're still here. That's good. 8606 is essentially for the non-deductible IRAs is what those are. You might have seen it's been super popular, backdoor Roth, essentially how-to on TurboTax, right? I'm assuming that's what we're doing here. I'm not quite sure, though. I'll read this again. Let's see if I can make sense of it. I have a non-IRA. I don't even know what a non-IRA brokerage account. So that's essentially like a non-IRA, non-retirement account. So this is like a brokerage account that's after tax, right? Just investing in stocks, right? Yeah, okay, deal. Capital gains. Broker open. Simple IRA and transfer some funds. So you transfer some funds from your brokerage account to your retirement account. Got it. So we need to get a deduction on the return if you're going to do that into it to help offset the capital gains. To offset the capital gains. Okay. Well, if we're going to offset the capital gains, there's no need to do the 8606. Because the 8606 is where we do the non-deductible. I'm a little confused on what you're trying to do here, Steve. Because, yeah, you can offset some of the capital gains by contributing to a retirement account, right? And get the deduction for the contribution to the retirement account. But then if you're going to use the form 8606, that's to elect it to be non-deductible. So now we're like back at square one if we're going to do something like that. I don't know. I don't really know what the goal is here. So you got to let me know. But yeah, the 8606 is a electing the IRA contribution to be non-deductible. How to report the late contribution. That's all. You just put it on your return. There's no late. It's not late as long as you do it before April 15th. So there's no late. It's not late to the IRA. You just put it on just like as if you were to put, and you know what? Let's just go through it. I'll do it on TurboTax, but it should be pretty straightforward on how to get this done. Let me share my screen, screenshot, and let's go deductions, right? Like contribution to a simple IRA. Let's do this. Simple. Well, of course, IRA. Let's do that. How about that? There we go. Simple is what? With a Schedule C, I believe is what it is. SIMPLE, yeah. Well, if you were to put into a traditional, man, it looks like I can't even find the simple IRA here. Traditional, none of the above maybe. Let's see what this is. No. It's right here, right on this, right there. Tell us how much of the above total contribution for 23 you contributed this year, essentially, is what it says. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's right here. This is a traditional, I get it. So I'm not quite sure where we would put the simple. You change your mind. No. No. No, this is that 8606. Okay, because I've done this previously. Okay, continue. Actually, I shouldn't continue. Okay, continue. Okay, continue. Does it give me the simple option at all? No. Okay. I'm not quite sure how we would do the simple on this thing. Maybe through a Schedule C. Look up these. I'm not very familiar with the simple IRA, to tell you the truth. Let's look in this. Yeah, it's got to be done through, I believe, a Schedule C. I'd have to. Steve, did that answer your question? Is it a traditional IRA or is it a simple IRA? Because if it's a simple, I'm going to have to look into this because, I can't find that simply. No, I can't find that so easily here on TurboTax. So maybe that's something I'd have to, look into. Come on. Simple IRA. contribution. Do I need to report? See more. Well, of course, okay, that's not what we're looking for. Let's see here, review this. See if you could let me know so I'm not spinning my wheels in terms of this simple or traditional IRA. You let me know. Oh, check, but go ahead with traditional. Yeah, got it. So you saw, but go ahead with the traditional. So you saw, I just actually went through the traditional, right? This is, you saw where that was. I'll show you yet again kind of where that traditional goes. But IRA, boom, traditional. We'll just say, yep, continue, no. So it's right here. Essentially, it asks the question right here. Tell us how much of the above total contribution for 23 you contributed this year in 24. It asks that right here. So you would just throw that in there, essentially. Hope that helped, man. Awesome. Okay, deal. There's that. All right. Well, let's see what else I got here on the docket today to work on. You know, I never went over, any K1, so I could do a K1 entry to see if anyone's got a K1 from like an S Corp. The S Corp deadline was just the other day. What was that? Friday. Anything I need from the broker to file? No, that's nothing you need. You just need to contribute there, and essentially they will eventually produce like a 5498, Steve, which will tell us, right? This 5498 will tell you essentially how much you contributed to that account, right? Wherever that's simple, right? Simple contributions. It'll tell us, but you don't really necessarily need that. You just need to get it done is really what it needs to come down to. So no, there's nothing you need from the broker. You just need to do it by April 15th is really, that's it. Okay, so nothing from the broker for that. Deal. Okay, let's see what else we got here. K1s, S Corp. Look at that. All right, deal. Let's look into this thing here. And Jennifer, if you're still working on this thing and you need some more help, come back. Maybe I can answer some questions while I'm still here. Okay? Deal. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to try and put in this K1 into TurboTax K1, right? We had the deadline on Friday to file S Corp tax returns, so now we should all have our K1s from S corporations, partnerships to get into TurboTax. Let's do it. So we have wages. Let's do it. It's got to be somewhere in wages and income here. Let's just type in K1. Our lovely, there it is. Schedule K1. Nice, and we got one from, we'll say, Form 1120S. You would see that in the upper left here, right? Form 1120S. Boom. Yes, we did. We got the 1120S, so we'll say we got it from S Corp. Address 123, Maine, Newport, CA 92660. Boom. Continue. Yes. Identification number 951234567. Boom. I'll say I'm a 50% owner. Continue. And that's where we would find that right there. Current year allocation percentage. Blah. Okay. This corp ended. So if you got out of your corporation, S Corp, obviously, you got to check that box. You would know that if you had this little final box up here checked, okay? So none of these apply. Click Continue. And let's see here. What type of activity is the S Corp involved in? Business is what we're going to put, okay? K1 has more than one value in boxes 1, 2, 3. No, so that's it. So this one, I mean, this is like the more common one you'll see is something like that, right? Business income. So we'll use that. Oops. Of course, that little button's right there. hit continue. Did you materially participate? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If you worked in the company, you materially participate. Easy guide. Wow, look at that. I'm going to say no, I'm not going to go through this, but if you have any questions on that, obviously go through that. So we'll say yes, I materially participated here. Now, income or loss. So I'll just look at the K1. 45150. That's what we see. Box 1 right there. Okay. Deal. There we go. Hit continue. Check the boxes have amounts. Okay, so let's just take a look. What other boxes do we have amounts here for? None there. Looks like we have 15 and 16 and 17. 15, 16, 17. Let's do that. Let's go here. Whoops. Come on, full screen here. 15, 16, 17. Boom. There we go. Continue. All right, so for 15, what do we got? We have A, right? Let's do that over here. 15 is A, and it is an amount of negative 108. Continue. 16 has D for distributions, property distributions, 11974. And 17 has code AC and code V. And hit continue. So, you know what? I went a little fast there. These don't actually have amounts on the K1 because it says C statement, okay? So I'm sure the software is going to prompt me in a second on what those say. So I'm not going to put any information on there. Hit continue. Check any of the following situations that apply to your. All of my investment is in this activity is at risk. Excuse me. So I'm going to keep that box checked, and the reason they're checking this box is because previously I said we materially participate. So we're going to keep that box checked, okay? I paid personal health insurance for myself and my family, and this S-corp paid me wages. So this would be a good box to check. Generally, we choose this. This is how we should have it set up if we did this properly. But the wages should have been paid. I'll hit a yes on there. I don't actually have an example of that, but I'll go through there. I personally paid interest on debt. No. I'm reporting a loss not allowed on prior. No. Okay, so I'm going to hit that. Hit continue. So we got to look at the W-2 from this S-corp. So essentially, because you're an S-corp owner, if you're an S-corp owner and you work in the business like most S-corp owners do, then you're supposed to be paying yourself a W-2 wage. And this is going to want to know your health insurance that you paid through W-2 so that you can get this deduction. So essentially, let's just say, we'll say $20,000, right? And I paid, I don't know, $2,200 for health insurance. All right, continue. Deal. I didn't pay long-term insurance. No. So I didn't do any of this either. So this is kind of rare, I would say. Basis requirements. Oh, gosh, we're going to have to go through. Based on your inputs, you have one of the following conditions that require received a non-dividend distribution from an S corporation. So let's see here. Because they don't want to have the excess distribution problem, I believe this is what this is going through. They're going to want this 7203. Received a non-dividend distribution. I thought that's what it was. Okay, let's go through it. Can I continue without doing this? Yes, let's just give that a shot. I'll come back to doing that one. We see you have section 1998. This is a good one, right? The only source of dividends, income from this is the generate. Right, okay, so this is what we generally want to pick. Income comes from another business. So we'll continue. We need some information about your 199A. The 199A S Corp has business income. So we'll take a look at the K1 here. On the third page, we're going to see, right, we got some information here. It's going to look something like this. So we got ordinary business income, and then you got W-2 wages and some property. So we'll just fill this thing out, right? 45150, deal, nothing else here. And it also has S Corp wages. Fill that guy out, 7.9, right? And we have some property. Oh, there's that. Let's check some uncommon. Statement needs to be changed. No, this business will receive income from. No, none of these apply. It's rare. Do you want to provide more info? No, I don't think I'll have much more income, so let's skip this. Deal. Great, so we get the QBI deduction. That's good. Continue. Wait, go back. What happened there? You do not need to provide any more information about your qualified business. However, if you think you haven't added yet, might increase your taxable income, we recommend you do this. Yes. So this is like the SSTB. Yes. Okay. Does the S Corp receive income from specified? So let's say I do accounting, right? Financial services. This is me. I would say yes. That's what I do. Okay. Continue. There we go. Continue. Boom. Done. There's the K1 input. The only other thing I would say is there is K1 for your state. So when we go to the state, we have to make sure we revise. We make sure we're entering the K1 properly with the state too, because there are differences with like deductions for depreciation. I don't know, some other depreciation is generally the one that I see that can be different with the Fed and the state. And you would want to make sure that we adjust for that when you do the state. All right, there's that. So, I mean, that's really all I got here for today, other than kind of trying to help people out. I can look at some comments on my channel to see if there's anything I can help people out with here. Let's look at this here. This video is helpful, but I still have some issue. I bought a car, start Lyft driving during inspection. He said, yep, need brakes. I did, but my question is, in which place do I put? So you would have to put this in like the vehicle expenses is where this would go. And you would have to put like maintenance for this is what this would fall under is maintenance. So if you want me to show you that, I can. Let's see this one. We can go over that one. Thank you for this video. My husband and I are married. We have retirement accounts. Our AG is I, blah, blah, blah. We both contribute to this and that. Oh, no. Question is there a way to change the contribution to traditional and then change it backdoor Roth? Blah. Yeah, you do like a recharacterization here is what you do. And let's see here. Is it too late to do something about? No, it's not too late. We do recharacterization is what we do. As long as you do it by the due date. We have never encountered this situation. So, yep, that's essentially it. It's called recharacterization. Hi, just watched your how to report ESPP and RSU videos. Oh, fun stuff, Ozzy. Deal. Let me know what's going on. How can I help you with that stuff? What do I choose to enter cost of goods sold if I sell on eBay? Good question. Okay, I'm going to do both of those real quick, actually. So this one you have to go back, and in TurboTax, I'm assuming they're going to ask you a question of did you recharacterize this, and you would have to say yes. You just have to do it by the due date to recharacterize these, since we're not allowed to put directly into a Roth. But you got to go back to your brokerage account, essentially, to do that recharacterization. Sorry, too early, no big deal, man. Let's see here. So what do I choose to enter the cost of goods sold? So I'm going to do that with these two. Essentially, these are both self-employment questions. So let's go to the self-employment one. Try and go through those. Ozzy, you got a question for me, man? Let me know, and I'll try my best to answer this as we speak here. But if not, I'm going to try and work on these comments that I got. Self-employment. So where do I put the tires and the brakes, right, is the question. Let's just do it here, man. Boom, edit, driving. All right, it's a side gig, continue. No, I didn't stop. Okay, let's just get through these things here first, and then I can tell you where we're at. Skip this. So I just say skip this. Let's just go. Gosh, come on, just get to the expense part. car and equipment, right? That's essentially where we would go to. Oh gosh, of course. TurboTax is gonna look for more stuff for me. Well, let's see what they say. Did you use your home office for work? I'm not sure. Let's just keep going. Oh my gosh. Get me to my thing where I want to go. All right, let's see here. I am looking for my vehicle. Hit review. There we go. Stopped using your business. Edit. Here we go. All right, so it's in this section here is where we would... I'm going to speak too soon. Tires, come on. You need to know the personal trip. Yes, it's available for personal use. Yes, no, this is it, right? Okay, deal. Okay, continue. Let's say I put like 15,000 miles on it total. And for the ride sharing gig, I just drove a little bit here, right? Boom, done, continue. Were 4 or more other vehicles used? No, this is my only vehicle. Now let's select your vehicle deduction. I want to enter my actual expenses without estimating them first. So this is where you got to go to do that, okay? You have to go through those steps that I did just do, okay? You do need to put in your mileage that I just went in and threw in there in order to get this done. So you do that, and then you go to actual is where this tires and brakes. There you go. Boom, done. You'd have to put all the other stuff in there too, though, to see if this actual expense will beat the standard deduction is what that comes down to, okay? So you wouldn't just put your tires and brakes on here. You got to put it all in there. Gas, oil, tires, brakes, registration, blah, insurance. Put it all in there. Total amounts is what you got to put in there. And then the software is going to write total. There it is, total expenses for the year, not just the amount that you paid for to do Uber or Lyft. You got to put the whole year. Deal. I think I really input my point there. Okay, deal. There's that. Let's take a look at what else do we have. I think there was another self-employed question. Cost of goods sold. Let's take a look. Let's see where we go. Hit back. I think it's like one of those sections where it says, like, what deductions are we? Let's see. TurboTax. Come on, man. Let's see what you got for me. Summary. Go back. Here we go. Okay. Advertising ad expense for this work. We recommend less common. Let's put cost of goods sold. Cost. Let's put goods. No? Well, maybe it's because it's the ride sharing business. Let's take a look if I enter in a new business here. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Review. So it all comes down to a new gig. Here we go. Let's go this way. E-commerce. Okay. That best describes your work. None of these apply. Handmade goods sales, maybe? There we go. You can do something like that. I don't know exactly what you do, but selling something, right? It's my side gig. Doesn't really matter, does it? No. I started homemade goods. Okay, deal. Boom. Did you make any of these payments? No. Tell us anything. No. All right, there's that. Looks good. No, skip this. That doesn't matter. Skip for now. Type in my expenses. I kept track of these things. Continue. Okay, get started. Where are those cost of goods sold? Inventory. Products held for sale. Boom. Cost of purchases. Man, found it right there. There we go. Hit that inventory button. There we go. That's how we answer this question. Substitute teaching, acting. Can I do this all on one freelance TurboTax software? Man, I don't know. Also, I generally have my daughter's taxes done with mine when paying my previous preparer. How can I get hers done? She's not freelance, or she should, yes, this is done separately. Regardless, they're always done separately. They're separate Social Security numbers, unless she's a dependent, doesn't have income. But if she's got income, we're filing a separate tax return for her. And yet you would have to do that separately, essentially. So I'm not sure in terms of TurboTax products on what software works with what. But I do know they are filing separate tax returns here. Okay, there's that. Helping with those. W-2 looks kind of weird. Yeah, IHSS is weird. Box 1 has wages, but Social Security's is more. Okay. Something similar with his wife. 6K box 1 was supposed to live with his mother-in-law, so he shouldn't have to be reported. So I think what happens here in this situation is because they are not reporting it properly when they do it through IHSS, as if like they are providing the services in-home or not. So that's why those W-2s look like really funky, is really what it comes down to. So they have to make sure they're checking that box when they, I think they log their hours in online. You have to like, it asks you like, did you provide these services in-home or not? And you would just make sure that they hit yes. Maybe sometimes they hit no, and that's why that's there. So yeah, what you need to do is he lived with his mother. We have no idea where box 1 wages came from. I think that's what happens. So you would type in the boxes there, right? Whatever, and then on a W-2, and then on a W-2 in TurboTax, and then Schedule 1, you hit that notice 2417 as a negative 17, as a negative 6,000. And you would put those separately on Schedule 1, like essentially what you see in my video, but on Schedule 1 is a negative. So W-2, as you see on the W-2 into TurboTax, pretty straightforward, and then go to Schedule 1, and then have that like negative 17 here, 2417, negative 6, 24, IRS notice 2014-17. Forget exactly what it is, but there's a notice. I have it in that video, so be sure to reference the video on how to get that negative, essentially is what it is. But I think that's what's happening, is that him and his wife are saying some of the payments that they're receiving are for in-home services and some are not in-home. So I think that's why the state is then reporting it as such. Collab, okay. There isn't locality, state. TurboTax won't let me proceed. Help? Oh no, I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. W2G. I would probably just copy box 13. Let's take a look at the W2G. It's not letting you proceed with that. So let's see here. What boxes are we referring to? Box 18. Box 18, name of locality. Or state. Box 3, my state also is not in the drop down. Blah. Box 13. I'm assuming you're like in a non-taxable state is my guess. I'm not quite sure. This is something you probably have to reach out to TurboTax for. I don't know. Let's see here. What do we got? This is an offer and compromise question. I'm going to skip that. I did everything he told me, but the distribution somehow shows that it is taxable. Any thoughts? Well, I think we didn't do this properly is what happened, because it should not be taxable, as I showed on the video on how it works. So I would go through this again. Actually, believe it or not, I would go to the end of this and see what is happening if you generated a Form 8606 and what that Form 8606 actually shows. So I would get to the end of TurboTax whenever you get to it, print out that form or download it, whatever, and see that Form 8606 and tell me what are on those lines, each line, and I can actually further help you here. So, yeah, I think you did something incorrect there. I don't know what you did incorrectly. I made a mistake incorrectly entering the wrong amount of property tax. When I go through these steps, nothing changes for the federal return. That makes sense because we have the 10,000 SALT, right? But I am due money back from California. Do I need to send in the form for federal government too? Only California? Yeah, just go to California. There's no need to amend the feds. It's not doing anything with the feds. So you're right. Only do California. Only amend California's tax return. There's no need to amend the federal return. You're on the right track here. So live session, if it worked for you, at least you could do is like the video. Yes, that's right, man. Oh, man, I don't know what that means. If you won, how will you know when, if? Okay, good question. I don't know. All right, well, let's see here. I'm about done here. I want in a state that I don't live in. Like, it doesn't indicate the state. It just has numbers, which I Googled and didn't turn up anything. Form 13, line 13, doesn't indicate the state. Will this be the state the casino is located or in my home state? I had state taxes taken out at the time of winning. I assume these would be for the state the casino is located. Would I still have to pay my home state taxes on top of that? I'm assuming they did. I'm not quite sure. Okay. Honestly, I personally never gamble at all. So I don't really know too much about this, like firsthand. But what my guess is that the casino actually withheld taxes for, yes, the state that you won your jackpot in, right? And you paid those taxes in that state. Do you need to pay double taxes? Like, do you need to pay for your home state as well? Yes, but generally you get a credit for other state taxes paid. So technically, you shouldn't be double taxed on this. It's not always true, that statement, because it depends on what states these are, where you won the gambling and paid that tax to, and then where you live. So those two kind of, that matters. It matters those two states. Like, what are those, depending upon that. But generally speaking, you can get a credit for state taxes you pay to other states. But it depends, because I know California doesn't give you a credit for Arizona state taxes paid, but they will for essentially like every other state. So it depends. Do you have any videos if the investor broker accidentally put part of the Roth and then had to move it to a traditional to do the backdoor? Wait. One more time. Do you have any videos if the investor broker accidentally put part into a Roth and then had to move it to traditional to do the backdoor? I mean, I don't have a video on that. That's the answer to that question. But essentially, it's like a recharacterization, and it would be on that 1099-R that you're going to get. So be sure to be on the lookout for the 1099-R. But it won't be taxable. So you're going to get like an extra 1099-R in this step when they did this accident. It's not a big deal. You just have to make sure you grab those 1099-Rs, and when you do it on TurboTax, there's going to be a code in box 7, I think it is. I forget exactly what it is, but it'll have that recharacterization code on essentially this mess up is what happened here. Recharacterized from Roth to traditional and then converted it back to a Roth. Blech. Accidents happen. So but again, it shouldn't be a big deal. You just have to make sure you grab those 1099-Rs and then report those properly into TurboTax with that code, right? I'll show you. The code should be R. Should be. Where is the 1099-R? Give it to me, please. Okay, well, that's not it. There it is. So it'd be what? Box 7. There you go. Distribution code. So there should be a code there. Man, I'd have to look up what the code is, but there's a code there that should be for that recharacterization. And when you go through TurboTax, it should tell you, when you pull up that code, that it is a recharacterization. So just make sure that, yeah, that is getting done. Deal. There's that. I think we're done for the day, man. Thank you, everyone who stopped by to check out the stream. I appreciate that. Let's see here. I'll be back next Wednesday, kind of doing the same thing. You guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, leave a comment on a question. I'll go through these kind of just like I went through today. Hope it was helpful. If it was, do the usual, right? Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Better yet, use the link in my description if you haven't already paid for TurboTax.